On engagement day, my boyfriend's whole family came. After exchanging rings, my boyfriend lowered his head to kiss me. Before his lips touched his face, his little niece suddenly burst into tears. No kissing this evil woman. Even his brother's widow had a look of watering eyes. I can't believe you kissed in front of the kids. Is she that horny? Doing this in public. My boyfriend immediately pushed me away and picked up my niece and gently coaxed brother's widow again. Officiant was embarrassed, and the relatives in the room were all blushing. Kissing isn't a necessary ritual, but it's very degrading to the woman's face when her boyfriend does it. Especially since all the relatives were there. Mom and Dad couldn't help but question the boyfriend. But the boyfriend, who has been in a relationship for 10 years, demanded that the engagement party be ended immediately because of this. Brother's widow and Tingting can't accept me doing this. If you have to get on their nerves, then cancel the engagement party. The engagement banquet that was still bustling just a moment ago fell silent. The crowd's astonished gazes focused on Emily's mother and daughter. Doesn't she understand moral decency? Is it so shameless to ask for a kiss in front of a minor in full view of the public? Emily covered her daughter Lily's eyes and roared at me, looking at me like she wanted to eat me. That Tingting's mom, Ruozhu and Siyuan, are an unmarried couple, and this is an engagement party. It's normal for the young couple to be intimate. Tingting is still young, so you need to explain it to her. Mom hardened her smile to round off the conversation. I don't want to. Daddy just can't kiss evil woman, or I'll run away from home. Lily struggled out of Emily's arms. Her little arms crossed and she looked just like Emily. I frowned at Ryan, wanting him to speak up and stop the mother and daughter. But he looked at Emily and her daughter with eyes full of pain, and then pushed me away. I stumbled backward and hit my waist on the wine glass tower, and before I could stand still, dozens of glasses filled with red wine tipped over and fell to the ground, shattering all over the place. The red cheongsam was instantly dyed with red wine. My heart sank, as if falling into a swamp. Ruozhu, are you all right? Mom rushed forward to help me up. Luckily the ones who came today are very familiar relatives' friends. The clothes are also wet and the red wine tower has collapsed. This would have been a big joke on the wedding day. I was supposed to be the center of attention at the engagement party, but I was a mess. Everyone came up to me to see if I was hurt, and even took their coats off and put them on me. Ryan, on the contrary, just hugged Lily and coaxed Emily in a low voice. Brother's widow, don't be mad. You and Tingting don't like it. I want kiss her is all. What about at the wedding? Emily humph, pouting accusation. When the wedding officiant asked the groom to kiss the bride, you are not allowed to kiss. Lily sniffed and covered Ryan's mouth with her 2 hands. No kissing, evil woman. Daddy, no kissing, evil woman. Are we having a platonic marriage? Then I might as well find a sister to live with. Ryan didn't get angry at all. Instead, he dotingly held Lily's little hand and kissed it. Okay, okay, okay. I'll listen to Tingting and Mom. Lily instantly cheered and made a face at me. Emily also had a smug look on her face. I always knew Ryan had a niece. I was told she was the surviving child of his late twin brother. He often said that when he wasn't born he robbed his brother of his nourishment, causing him to be weak and sickly at birth. In this life, he owes his brother, so he will take good care of his brother's wife and daughter. But I didn't expect that it would be such a way to take care of them, letting his niece call him dad, to brother's widow and niece bottomless indulgence. In-laws see the atmosphere is not right. Quickly explain. In-laws, our boss life is hard. Just left such a little blood. Inevitably spoiled a little. You do not take it seriously. The words came to this point. If they continued to make a scene, it would be a case of getting on the bad side of the dead eldest uncle. Mom and Dad sighed and held back their displeasure, signaling officiant to warm up so I could go change into a dress and continue the engagement ceremony. I glanced over at Ryan, who was filled with nothing but mother and daughter Emily. Oblivious to my mess and hurt. My heart sank to the bottom of the lake and my last bit of hope vanished. I changed into my dress and came out. An officiant cleared his throat to announce that the ceremony would continue. I didn't realize that Emily led Lily up to the stage first. Mother-in-law was a bit embarrassed. She went up and asked her to come down softly. The ceremony is about to start. What are you doing up there? Lily shook off mother-in-law's hand and said in dissatisfaction, I haven't been to mom and dad's engagement ceremony yet. Emily's eyes were full of smiles. Touching her little head. Siyuan's brother left early, and we didn't have an engagement ceremony. It's always a regret. So it's a good time to take this opportunity to make up for it. Mother-in-law won't object to it. Right. The whole room was silent. Emily meant to let Ryan replace his brother and get engaged to her. How is this making up for regret? It was practically a joke. It was already out of character for a niece to call her younger brother-in-law dad. Now Emily was getting engaged to Ryan, and the confusion simply didn't add up. I looked straight at Ryan, wanting him to make a statement. Instead, he was already up on stage with eyes full of tenderness, crouching down to be flush with Lily. Okay, Tingting will satisfy you with whatever you want, Dad. But it's just a simulation of an engagement ceremony. A small matter. Saying this, he locked eyes with me. Brother left early. I'll walk the ceremony for him. Ruozhu won't be mad. Right. The last sentence appeared to be asking for my permission, but it was actually a notice Ryan mentioned to me many times to take care of my widowed sister-in-law and niece. And I promised that I would run the relatives' relationship with him. After all, in our generation, with fewer siblings, I was happy to have 2 more family members. But I didn't realize that his brother's widow and niece had so little sense of boundaries. I sulked and didn't make a sound. And Emily had already grabbed the officiant's microphone and informed aloud, Welcome, friends and family, to my engagement party with Tina's dad. At these words, the arena was abuzz. Relatives began to murmur. Tingting's dad. What do you mean? Just now when I heard the little girl mouthing the name of the groom's father, I thought it was strange. This child wouldn't be the groom, right? And a temporary change of bride. What's with the skit? What's going on in the Fu family, with brother's widow and younger brother-in-law involved? It's just not right. Mom and Dad's face had already gotten so bad that they didn't say a word with an ironclad face. I bit my lip to death and asked him, Ryan, can you tell me exactly who you're engaged to today? To, of course. Ryan said before he could finish his sentence. Don't you evil woman embarrass my father. Lily reached out and pointed at me. Of course Dad is engaged to my mom. You're such an ugly woman with a small ass. And Grandma said you're just a hen that doesn't lay eggs. So what right do you have to possess my dad? With a loud bang, my mind went blank. Immediately afterward, a mountain of anger hit me. I swept my cold eyes over Ryan and the in-laws, who were embarrassed to the core. Is this the way your Fu family does it? It's trying to make Ryan bigamy, isn't it? Don't talk nonsense. What bigamy? That's my brother's wife and daughter. My brother is gone. What's wrong with us as blood relatives taking care of his widow? Seeing that the relatives were starting to blame the Fu family, Ryan rushed to explain. Mother-in-law blamed me instead. Yes, Ruozhu. That's why Tingting, a little girl, didn't know any better and thought she was playing house. You're such an old man. Why are you still bothering with a little kid? I was just about to get angry. Emily came down from the stage and knelt down in front of me at once, crying like a pear. I'm sorry, sibling. I just think too much about Siyuan's brother. Didn't think it would make you misunderstand. Don't get upset because of this. She pulled Lily over and scolded her. It's all your fault for not knowing better. You've upset your aunt. Don't kneel down and apologize. Lily burst into tears. I was shocked by this. My parents rushed to help Emily up. This is a big deal. Why is it so serious? Since it's a misunderstanding, we should just talk about it. My mom and dad and I looked at each other with a clear understanding. Originally, it was Ryan's family that had no sense and was to be condemned for this when all was said and done. But with Emily and Lily on their knees like this, if I continued to be unrelenting, I would be the unmarried sister-in-law forcing her widowed sister-in-law and little niece. The one being pointed at would be me. Well, let's go see the new house, shall we? The relatives with eyesight changed the subject and proposed to skip this part. Surrounded by relatives' friends, we soon arrived at the new house prepared by the Fu family. What was eye-opening was that once we entered, the house was filled with photos. Either Ryan and Emily's mother-daughter photos, or Emily and Lily's solo photos. The most exaggerated thing was that right in the center of the living room, there was Ryan and Emily's wedding photo hanging. I was just about to be pissed off. Pointing to the furnishings in the house, I asked Ryan, "What about these? And how do you explain this?" "Ryan, tell me, whose new house is this with you? Who are you, evil woman?" to question Dad. Lily was hugged by Emily, waving her hand and yelling, "This is my home with Mom and Dad. Of course we have to put our pictures." Dad said, "Our own home. Tingting and Mom can decorate it any way they want." Ryan's ears popped red and he seemed to be very vain. Had only said he'd take care of brother's widow and niece, but never told me they'd be moving in. And with all the decorations, it was as if they were the family and I was the extra. But he quickly followed Lily's words. "Tingting is the only heir of our Fu family, so naturally there's no disobedience to whatever she wants to do. Besides, it's just a few pictures. You as an aunt, don't be so careful." The more he said, the more he got stronger, and he even started to point the spear at me. The squatting brother's widow and niece, the confused father-in-law, mother-in-law and fiancé. This Fu family is a family of oddballs. I nodded with a cold smile. Good. Do you want me to let out the master bedroom as well, so that your family of 3 can live there? Ryan changed his face, frowning as he tried to say something. "Mommy, what is this?" came the tender voice of a child. 2 little boys ran noisily out of the master bedroom, one of them carrying a lace bra with pitifully little fabric in his hand, and instantly became the center of attention in the room. The crowd suddenly reddened. Some older relatives, a look of intolerance don't turn away from the face. Ruozhu. These young people's amorous feelings. You also don't put it away. I have a white face. Like a bolt from the blue. The wedding room was picked by Fu's family. I never participated in the decoration, let alone coming in to set up the room in advance. Ryan said he was afraid of tiring me out, but it turned out that it was to let Emily and her daughter move in first. I looked at him in disbelief. Whose kid is this? So uneducated. Emily huffed and grabbed the bra, and pushed the little boy. Seeing everyone looking at her with different colors, she reddened. It's someone's stuff. What's so strange about it? Brother Siyuan left early. He promised to take care of me for his brother. So what's wrong with washing an underwear for me? She gave me a provocative look. In the past, Siyuan would always wash them for me when he went back to his hometown. It's not like he would forget brother's widow just because he married a daughter-in-law. Right? No way. Ryan couldn't wait to promise. I promised before my brother's grave. So I'll definitely do it. Brother's widow, don't worry. In a while when the ceremony is over, I'll wash it for you. I was exhausted out of my mind. Younger brother-in-law helped brother's widow wash her underwear and took it so for granted. The crowd was also shocked. What a living hell, to have such shameless brother's widow letting younger brother-in-law help her wash her underwear. It's just absolute. It's outrageous enough to just make up an engagement ceremony. And this is straight up squatting. What? You're taking over the master bedroom to sleep with the younger brother-in-law. My family's relatives are also furious. This Fu family is really messed up. It is said nicely that they are taking care of orphans and widows on behalf of their late brother. But who knows whose child is really theirs? Upon hearing this, Emila's face turned red and she cried and jumped into Ryan's arms. Younger brother-in-law, you said you would protect me. Are you just going to let them bully me like this? Lily saw her mom crying and burst into tears along with her. In-laws crouched down to coax Lily. Ryan also wrapped his arms around Emily to comfort her. Sophia, one more word from these mouthy relatives in your family and they'll sue you for libel. My head was buzzing with anger. I sneered back. People are doing it. If your Fu family dares to do it, don't be afraid of people saying it. Maybe I was too good to Ryan in the past. Suddenly arguing with him in front of outsiders made him lose face. He coldly warned me, Sophia, after 10 years of our relationship, are you sure you want to be so aggressive and unforgiving? Speaking of those 10 years, it covered my entire youth. From innocent college girl to desperate woman. We supported each other, and it was hard for us to stabilize in the past 2 years. Planning to get married and have children. I closed my eyes, not willing to let 10 years of dedication go to waste. Ryan, let brother's widow and niece move out of our new house. Forcing myself to calm down, I was going to give the 10-year relationship one last chance. We can pay them living expenses every month, and hire a nanny if needed. What are you talking about? Ryan interrupted me in a stern voice. I swore that I would take care of my brother's wife and kids for him. So letting them move out. Thanks for thinking of that, Sophia. As the saying goes, stand by your spouse through thick and thin. Since you chose me, you should respect my decision. Since you don't have the means to accept it, let's cancel the engagement ceremony. When you have figured it out and gained the understanding of brother's widow and Tingting, then we'll do the engagement ceremony again. Tears slipped down my face as I completely died. Fine. I don't need them to move in. I just don't live in it. After saying this, I turned around and left. Mom and Dad were shaking with anger, and the relatives rolled up their sleeves to teach Ryan a lesson. All of which I stopped. They were the ones who deserved it. But if we had moved, both sides would have gotten 20 lashes each at fault. Your Fu family is so awesome. Are you too poor to get out of the house? Even your daughter-in-law has to inherit. The relatives mocked a few words and left one after another. In-laws jumped behind them and defended. What a rumor-mongering mouth. Siyuan and Xinyuan are innocent. What are you talking about? Mom and Dad consoled me. A blessed daughter does not enter a blessed door. This time seeing the true face of the Fu family is also a timely stop. I nodded. But my heart couldn't stop the dense pain that flooded my heart. After all, we have been together for 10 years. His shadow is everywhere in our lives. How can we say put down and put it down? I moved out of the house where I lived with Ryan and cleaned up my own traces. Good riddance is the decency I left behind for these 10 years of dedication. Unfortunately, Ryan didn't give me that chance. At the end of my shift the next day, I was taken away by the police. Sophia, you're suspected of fundraising fraud on the internet, and now the victims have gathered in front of the police station. Come with us. I was confused and repeatedly confirmed with the police before I realized that someone had used my identity information to commit fraud on the internet. And the IP location of the scammer is in Chicago, Ryan's hometown. I instantly realized that this matter and the Fu family cannot be linked. As soon as I got out of the car, rotten bananas and rotten eggs came at me. Bitch, return our hard-earned money. A good-looking man who says he has a good program to bring us money, but turns out to be a liar. This kind of person should go to hell. What's the point of pretending to be innocent? They'll tear your face apart. I couldn't dodge and was smashed so hard that my head buzzed. The egg liquid hangs on my hair, emitting a foul odor. It's a mess. The police stopped the agitated victim. The facts have not yet been investigated, and the suspect may also be the victim. So don't get agitated. I endured the pain all over my body and opened my mouth. The criminals are positioned in Chicago, and I've been in the city without leaving. Before I finished my words, Ryan, who had heard the news, covered my mouth and rushed to the angry crowd. She's the one who did it. My girlfriend recently had an incident at home and wanted money like crazy. So she took a crooked path. One person for all. I'll hold her accountable, he said, pulling me aside and whispering. What are you denying? Want the police to look into brother's widow. Tingting is still so young. What is she going to do if mom goes to jail? How do you want me to explain to my brother? You plead guilty quickly. Don't worry. I'll take care of it. As long as you lose the money and go to jail for a few days. This will be over. When you get out of jail, well, get married right away. After he spoke, before he could catch his breath, he raised his voice. Sophia, just admit it. If you admit your faults, you may be able to gain everyone's understanding. Many of the victims took out their cell phones to take pictures, and there were also netizens who rushed to the scene and started a live stream. Everyone praised Ryan and reduced me to nothing. This man is quite responsible. It's just his bad luck that he found such a scammer with a low moral character. I was drowned by all kinds of vicious abuse like seawater. I was so angry that I calmed down. Pressing the record button on my cell phone, I moved closer to Ryan and whispered a question in his ear. How did brother's widow get my ID? And why would she do something like that? Ryan froze and frowned, obviously reluctant to answer. I fought back the nausea and squeezed out a few tears. Baby, if you don't tell me the truth, how am I going to willingly take the fall for brother's widow? Seeing me relent and compromise, Ryan calmed down. He touched his nose and looked a little unnatural. Didn't you say earlier that you lost your ID? Actually, no. I took it to Xinyuan, but I didn't know she was going to use your ID for fraud. As for why she did it, Ryan sighed and blamed himself quite a bit. She did it for Tingting too. She said she wanted to make a lot of money so she could buy Tingting a school district house. Blame me. I didn't consider this layer. Why? It's too late to say anything. I sneered. It's late. In his dismayed gaze, I shouted aloud. Comrade police officers. All the victims. I didn't do the thing. It was my ex-boyfriend who stole my ID for his brother's widow. And not only that, but he tried to cover for her and make me take the blame. Ryan, shocked to the point of double take, yelled at me. Sophia, are you blowing me up? Are you trying to get brother's widow and Tina killed? Ignoring his fury, I turned on the recording and cranked up the volume to the max. The scene exploded, and the people who had been accusing and raging against me just moments before instantly turned their spears on Ryan. Bitch or what? Stealing your girlfriend's ID card for brother's widow scam. This girl was unlucky to have met this kind of scummy guy. Luckily she split up. What's the relationship between this guy and brother's widow? I suggest we check it out. Maybe there are secrets we can't tell. Give us back our hard-earned money. Damn liar and scum. If you don't return the money, you'll go to your niece's school. A large number of police officers came out from the police station to maintain order. Ryan and I were taken into the police station. Even before that, the police had linked up with Chicago's police department and retrieved the surveillance of the internet cafe that Emily had used in her scam. In the surveillance, Emily was wearing a headset and communicating with someone remotely. Boss Wu, don't worry. Sophia in the industry is still a little famous. Will not be stupid to smash their own signboard. This project the minimum guaranteed 3 times the profit. 3 months back to the capital, and next to her, Lily was eating noodles and playing games. Similar images, the whole 3 months, every day. How the truth is. It's already clear at a glance. At this time Emily was also brought to the police station. As soon as she saw me, she barked at me like a mad wild dog. Bitch, if I go to jail, I won't spare you. How can a woman like you be worthy of entering the Fu family? Ryan also chimed in. Sophia, you disappoint me so much. Brother's widow and Tingting's future have been ruined by you. How do you expect my family to forgive you? What are we going to do in the future? I was completely speechless. After 10 years of being together, I realized for the first time that Ryan could become as illogical as a retard when it came to Emily. I shrugged my shoulders and pointed at the victims gathered outside the door. You'd better think about how to explain to the victims. Thick fear welled up in Emily's eyes and she cried. Siyuan, look at what kind of woman you found. If I go to jail, Tingting won't be able to take the public examination in her life. She's harmed your niece for the rest of her life. And your brother will die in peace if you marry someone like that. Ryan wrinkled his eyebrows and stared at me in death. His tone was cold. Sophia, I'll give you one more chance. Is your family legally blind? The policewoman who made the statement finally couldn't stand it anymore, openly threatening others to take the blame in the police station. What do you think the police station is? Ryan swallowed back his unspoken words, and Fang Xinyuan also wimped out, hiding behind Ryan with her head down. After a week, the case was finalized. Emily stole other people's identity information to carry out network fraud. The number of people involved in the case is up to more than 100 people. The amount of crime also reached 5 million, a huge amount. In addition to returning the entire amount to the victims, Emily was sentenced to 10 years in prison and confiscation of all property. Fu's parents couldn't accept the result and dumped the pot on me. If you had confessed with your eyes closed, Xinyuan wouldn't have gone to jail. You snake and scorpion woman. You caused Tingting and her mother to be separated from their flesh and bones. You shall not die. They ran to my company and made a scene, saying that I was of bad character and demanded that the company fire me. Ryan also opened a live broadcast to sell his misery. My life has hit rock bottom lately. My girlfriend, who can't accept that I am taking care of my late brother's wife and daughter, engineered to send brother's widow to jail, and my niece lost her mom and cried her eyes out. I really don't know what to do, to be honest. Ryan is still quite handsome and has a successful career, living up to his elite look. Coupled with the fact that he had been heartbroken and bearded for the past few days, the whole person looked a broken sense. At once, he attracted a lot of people. The more handsome a man is, the easier it is for him to be cheated by a woman. Brother, don't feel bad. This woman is also too ungrateful. Taking care of her late brother's widow is proper. How can she harm people just because she's jealous? It's good to see her true colors earlier. Too cheap. This kind of person should be punished. Since the law can't sanction her, let us netizens do it. The live broadcast room side by side began to condemn me, and claimed to want to human flesh me. Let me disappear in this world. Ryan pretended to be in a difficult situation, and dissuaded everyone, don't be impulsive. After all, we've been together for 10 years. I want to get together. And I also want to give her a chance, said. He dialed my phone on the spot. Ruozhu. It's me. If you're willing to admit your mistake, we can still start over. I felt puzzled, and hung up the phone directly. Blind for 10 years, even if I would be stupid if I ate the grass back again. Just pulled Ryan's cell phone number black. With my good relationship with the colleague with a cell phone with a panicked face ran. Ruozhu. Your ex-boyfriend is guiding the netizen cyber violence you. I took the phone and instantly realized that Ryan had just made that call on purpose. Sure enough, the heat in the live broadcast room skyrocketed like never before, with netizens yelling at me to get out of the way while giving Ryan rewards and rockets. At the same time, Fu's parents made a scene at my company. The leader was afraid that calling the police would affect the company's stock price, so he asked me to bring the people to the conference room to negotiate. As soon as I entered, my unattached mother-in-law started accusing me, splashing and rolling around without any image. I made her a cup of tea and quietly watched her perform. Probably tired of acting. Plus no one was cooperating with her. She didn't bother to pretend anymore. Dusting herself off, she sat down on a chair and stared at me angrily. My former eunuch pretended to take a sip of tea and finally said the reason for coming. After all, we've been together for 10 years, and we don't want to make such a mess. This way, you compensate part of our loss. $10 million. This matter will be over. In the future, our road returns to the road, the bridge returns to the bridge, and each of us will not be involved. Otherwise, with Siyuan's influence on the network nowadays. He did not say more, but the threat is full of meaning. I was surprised. $10 million. What are they daring to ask for? It wasn't that I couldn't get it out, but it would require me to take out my entire savings, as well as sell a house to come up with it. And I was the real victim in this whole thing. Who am I to give them money? I just wanted to refuse. The leader entered the conference room with a dark face. Ruozhu, come here for a moment. She pulled me to the corner, her face full of anger. This ex-boyfriend family of yours is scum. She took out her cell phone and sent me an oversized document. I asked a friend from the police department to check. That ex-brother's widow of yours gambled online and lost $20 million. That's why I thought of using your identity information to defraud. And the money from the fraud went back into gambling. The Fu family put all the liquidity for business use. Also still can't fill these skeletons, so the idea hit on you. They'll call the security guards to come up and drive them out the back door and send them directly to the police station. It really pisses me off. I finally understood. Ryan opened a live broadcast to circle money, and together with Fu's parents threatened me with all kinds of tactics. It turned out to be in order to help Emily pay off her gambling debt. It's really sentimental and righteous. Only, they should not, 1,000 times, should not take me as a fish on the chopping board. I made a call to my hacker BFF. Help me make a post. I'm going to make Ryan eat his own words. I hadn't wanted to do that. But they were being too bullying. And if I put up with it any longer, I'd be a bun in the oven. Half an hour later, a post titled Bigamy, the story between brother's widow and younger brother-in-law exploded all over the internet. A marriage license has exploded on all social media platforms. The netizens, who were still basking in Ryan's beauty, angry about his encounter and threatening to teach me a lesson, suddenly realized that Ryan had already got a marriage license with the brother's widow he was talking about. The netizens instantly exploded. Younger brother-in-law inherits his brother's estate, and by the way inherits his wife. Right. It doesn't seem to be illegal, but it's still blowing up. No. But the man hid his marital history and had a girlfriend he talked about for 10 years and almost got married still, not waiting for netizens to digest the analysis. Immediately after that, the video from the day of our engagement party came out. Emily pinched her pink lace underwear, her eyes full of spring. Siyuan promised to take care of me for his brother. What's wrong with washing in underwear for me? This sentence has been adapted into a spoof internet phrase, and the photo of Emily pinching her underwear has also been intercepted and made into an emoticon. Man. Younger brother-in-law literature. Obviously husband and wife, but still pretend to be brother's widow and younger brother-in-law outside. Put aside this to make love. The point is that this family is hiding the truth, and they are still talking about marriage with others. So what? They want to cheat on marriage. I don't think it's a marriage scam. After all, the man is already married and can't get a license anymore. I think it's It's the girl's family history. Want to eat the absolute family it. Netizens flocked to Ryan's live room, intending to eat a handful of melons. As for Ryan, he was so happy to see the heat of the live broadcast room instantly rushing to number one that he couldn't keep his mouth shut, even forgetting to pretend to be sad. Only, his happiness lasted less than a minute. He realized that the comment section, which was originally in harmony, had all turned into comments scolding him and questioning him. When the target of the attack became himself, He suddenly realized that the original vicious words could strike a person with 1,000 holes. He blanched miserably and hurried off the air. After going off the air, he clicked on the hot search with a trembling hand. After reading all of them, he fell to the ground, took out his cell phone to call, but found that he had been pulled black by me. He rushed to my company to roll me, and was stopped by the receptionist. He had no choice but to wait downstairs. With today's overdeveloped internet, this bit of Ryan's family business has become just the right topic of conversation for people in the workplace to decompress. Hey, have you guys eaten melon yet? It's that melon about that younger brother-in-law marrying his brother's widow. I did. Well, it's too exciting. I tell you, there's more in here. Private matters were being discussed in a dignified manner, exaggerated and even distorted, and all kinds of unpleasant words entered Ryan's ears word by word. But he could only keep his head down and minimize his presence, not daring to confront people face to face in the slightest. After enduring this for 3 hours, he finally waited for me to get off work. He got up and stopped me. Ruozhu, I have something I want to say to you. Come with me for a moment. He reached out to grab me, which I avoided. Right now, the sight of him turns my stomach, let alone physical touch. If you have anything to say it here. Seeing that I was adamant, Ryan thought for a moment and spoke. It's not what's been rumored on the internet. Tina isn't my daughter. She's my brother's. As for getting a license with brother's widow, it's so that Tingting can have a complete family. I had long ago agreed with brother's widow that we would divorce her before we had our wedding, and then pass Tingting into our names. As for brother's widow, she can move in with us and won't be separated from her flesh and bones. Ruozhu, I've already arranged everything, taking everyone into consideration. Marry me and let Emily live with us. He still wants to do the same thing, right? I almost laughed out loud. Ryan, I have a friend who's a brain neurologist. Do you want me to refer you? The coworkers around us also pointed at him. This guy is really sick in the head. What kind of era is this? And he's still here playing bigamy. The most disgusting thing is that he treats people's girlfriends like idiots. A man in a second marriage, dragging his family along with a mistress, trying to trick people into babysitting for his family in just a few words. Ryan's chest heaved with anger and his face rose to a popping red. He made a few wisecracks, only to be disliked even more by my coworkers. Finally, he couldn't carry the rumor, and he left in disgrace. After this, he changed several cell phone numbers to send me messages. Ruozhu, I was wrong. I shouldn't have kept it from you, but you have to believe me. I only love you, baby. I can't hold out any longer. I've been fired. Now I can't find a job unemployed. The court ruled that Emily and I share the debt. In order to pay off the debt, Mom and Dad's small company has gone bankrupt. Our family's house is going into foreclosure. For the sake of our 10-year relationship, save me, okay? As long as you sell your house, help me this time. We start afresh. I swear, I have nothing to hide from you again. Looking at these messages, I just felt ridiculous. To this day, Ryan actually thinks we can break things off. I pulled out the cell phone card, directly cut up and threw it into the trash, and then quickly went to the business hall to replace the new card. The world was suddenly a much cleaner place. At the same time, I submitted an application for further study abroad. I have been struggling in my current company for many years, before the leadership is interested in promoting me, gave me an expatriate quota, after coming back to be able to promote 3 consecutive levels. Previously, in order to run my small family with Ryan, I refused without hesitation. In my opinion, the promotion opportunity was not easy, but the 10-year relationship between Ryan and me was even more valuable. I just didn't realize that the love I held so dearly was already rotting and stinking. Luckily, The application period hadn't closed yet. A week later, my girlfriends organized a party for me. After a full meal, my hacker bestie, who had always been a man of few words, brought up Ryan. Your scummy ex has been looking for people to smear you and try to turn public opinion against you. And he spent a lot of money to get hacks to write, but alas, I've intercepted all of them. The other sister burped. Well done, sisters. That said, I saw Fu Siyuan last night, and guess what? He actually kissed a rich woman old enough to be a fucking rich woman in public. TSK. That's a unique taste. When I heard Ryan's news again, my heart didn't flutter, as if they were talking about a stranger who didn't matter. The next day, I embarked on my trip abroad. The moment the plane took off, I felt like a newborn. From that moment on, everything related to Ryan was just a blip on the radar. 2 years after the expatriation ended, I was appointed as the company's vice president of marketing, in charge of overseas business. I met Ryan again at a Chamber of Commerce dinner. No, to be precise, it was at the front door of the dinner. Ryan was at the entrance of the dinner, holding a rich woman who weighed 200 pounds in his arms, and was as emaciated as if he had been drained of his blood. He had barely stepped over the threshold when he was punched to the ground. Dead shameless male mistress. My wife is also something you can get your hands on. I've long sent people to investigate you, previously entangled with brother's widow, in debt, and changed countless gold masters in the 2 years behind. The man fiercely kicked him, and then pouted to the rich woman with an aggrieved face. Wife, this kind of man is dirty. I don't know if he is infected with any disease. You quickly blow him away. When the rich woman heard this, she frowned, and immediately a security guard came forward, forcibly taking Ryan away. Not long after, the sound of punching and kicking came from a short distance away. Dogs. What kind of dirty thing dares to come near our boss? Don't know how to die. I think you're looking for death. The curses were accompanied by the man's pleas for help as he wailed in pain. The rich woman smiled with satisfaction and looked up to see me, then wiped her hands and was full of compliments. It's Mr. Shen. It's a pleasure to meet you. I'm the person in charge of Company A. We've just bid on one of your company's projects, and we'd like to ask you for a few pointers. I didn't shake her outstretched hands back, but nodded and smiled. You're welcome. The banquet is about to start. Let's go in. The banquet hall was filled with people mingling. And outside, in a dark, deserted corner, Ryan looked away and shed tears of remorse. It was my fault.